Okay, good evening. It is 7 o'clock. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Dr. Midzik, has this meeting been posted?
Yes, it has.
And roll call will show that all 5 board members and our 2 student board members are present. Let's please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we will start the agenda with communications tonight. Dr. Midzik, do you have any communications?
Yes, I do, and I'd like to begin with donations. A donation in the amount of $7,533 for Highland Youth Soccer Field improvements was made by the Black Bowed Giving Foundation on behalf of New York Life. The district would like to thank Christopher Tarola for applying for and securing this donation through his employer. They are here this evening to present the check, and I'm going to ask Mr. Mitchell to receive the donation. Yeah, absolutely. That is one big check. If they want to say anything, they can. Yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't, but I think one of the girls had something.
She's got a prepared statement.
Here, why don't you stand?
Yeah, turn towards the crowd.
Yes, everyone can
Just hold this mic for you.
Hi, my name's Addie Miller. I'm 10 years old and I live in Greendale, and I go to Highland View. Back in spring, I came and talked to you guys about our soccer field conditions at Highland View. Today, I'm back here with my friends and my friends from our soccer team, and we want to thank you for fixing our soccer fields, making them more safe and looking nicer so kids can play soccer on them when they have practice or games. We just want to say thank you for fixing our soccer fields. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. In addition, a $160 was donated to the district to benefit our high school athletics department by Greendale Chiropractic, LLC. Anonymous donations were made in the amount of $500 to the Greendale Senior Social Club and $1,000 to the adult recreation programs. And the Annie Nelson Reading Specialist at College Park collaborated with the Whitnall Rotary Club on a literacy grant. We are receiving $3,500 to get books into our second graders' hands that will help them build knowledge related to their CKLA knowledge units. It's School Board Appreciation Week, and I'm grateful for the board members who choose to serve their community and our students. Thank you for all of your service. I have a small token of appreciation from the administrative team to give you this evening. Today was a day of learning for our professional staff. Staff engaged in activities focused on instructional practices for the science of reading and the reading curriculum, as well as behavior support practices. The afternoon was spent reviewing student performance data to make instructional adjustments to support students' mastery of the standards. The Fun Run, Walk, and Roll is October 20th. T-shirts are guaranteed to pre-registered participants only. Make your plans now to join the fun for this annual event that supports our schools. Scan codes in photo to access registration form and add the date to your calendar. Those are available at all of the schools as well as the Park and Rec office if you are interested, and I believe it's also at the health department. First successful marching band competition. Our competitive season kicked off last evening at the 56th annual, that is not. They had a triple header weekend, and I'm going to leave that to the students to share. Reality Day is coming. Greendale High School's economics team is excited to announce its upcoming Reality Day workshop. This interactive program makes its return and connects students with the community while teaching essential life skills like money management, budgeting, and career planning. Reality Day 2024 will be held on Friday morning, November 22nd, 2024, in the upper gym at Greendale High School. This program provides a unique opportunity for students to engage with community leaders, preparing them for real-world financial responsibilities and decision-making. If any community members are interested in volunteering to assist in helping students through this simulation experience, please contact Nicole Mobley, high school economics teacher. Her contact information is on the website or can be retrieved through the high school office. Your involvement will make a significant impact on the students' experience and help shape their understanding of financial independence. That concludes my communications, and I would like to recommend that the board reorder the agenda to take items 3.1 and 3.2 immediately following the student updates.
Should we do the motion now?
I'd recommend that you do it at
Okay.
I move reordering the agenda to take agenda items 3.1 and 3.2 prior to citizen comments.
I second.
So we do have a motion and a second to reorder the agenda to take 3.1 and 3.2 before citizen comments. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll take a roll call, please.
Yes.
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 And I'm yes, motion carries.
Yeah, you need to do student
Okay.
updates.
All right, so our student board members are here with us tonight, so we'd like to hear from you. What's all been going on for the students?
Good evening. Greendale DECA has had its first 2 meetings, setting up the display case and school store promotions, as well as setting up community service initiatives, such as Chalk the Walk and Color a Smile with Sources of Strength at the elementary and middle schools, and preparing for park cleanups and the Trick or Can City Food Drive. Our next meeting is on Wednesday. The robotics team has prepared their robot for the Twist female driver scrimmage. They also had a spokesperson from MSOE talk about career opportunities at the workshop. And finally, for my updates, the student equity team held their annual Hispanic Heritage Month at Canterbury Elementary School on October 3rd.
Thank you, Noah. And Nick?
So the marching band is at a very successful start of our competitive season. So far, we've been the grand champion of 3 competitions, 1 in Wheeling, Illinois, and then 2 in Wisconsin, Oak Creek and Waukesha South. This weekend, we had 3 performances, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then this next weekend, we'll be traveling to Minnesota to compete. Our athletics are all in full swing. Tennis just ended their conference season last week. Football will have a game this Friday. Cross country with conference next Thursday, with all the other sports following soon after. Student Council has finished the process of homecoming, and we are starting to consider a partnership with schools in Florida or North Carolina, including possibly partnering with a sister school to raise funds from hurricane disaster relief. That concludes my communications.
Thank you, Nick, and thank you both for your announcements tonight. I am going to start by saying good evening to everyone. I want to thank you for being here tonight. As you know, there has been some attention placed on me recently that has been critical of my work as a public servant and has tried to paint me in a bad light. I apologize if my actions called into question my commitment to students and to our community. This is one of the highest performing and collegial school boards that I have had the privilege to serve with, and I am so proud to work with all of you. Because I do not want this attention on my actions, perceived or real, to be a distraction from the work that this board is achieving, I have made the difficult decision to step down from my role as the Greendale School Board President. My character is defined by me, not by any media, any misinformation campaign, or any idle gossip. Like all of us here, I am imperfect. However, I'm also capable of admitting my mistakes, of learning and growing and putting the past behind me. I am grateful to everyone who challenges me to be the best version of myself that I can be. I hope that we can continue to engage in meaningful, important conversations that elevate education in Greendale to cultivate excellence in every child and in ourselves. Please remember that when an individual engages in personal attacks, particularly ones that focus on someone's mental health, it says more about that particular individual's character than about the person that they are targeting. My work and my commitment to Greendale continues. You will see me enjoying public events, volunteering for the Greendale Lions Club and for the schools, shopping and eating in the village, and being out and about in the community with my dogs. Stepping aside from this role does not change me as a person. It does not lessen my commitment, and it is not an admission of embarrassment or disgrace. I am not ashamed of who I am. I want to thank the board for their support and for allowing me to serve as the president in this term. It is an honor to work with all of you, and I know that we will continue to prioritize the needs of our students, the taxpayers, parents, teachers, and community members with a steadfast commitment to what is best for Greendale. I wholeheartedly believe that Rob Kobleska is ready to lead the Greendale School Board moving forward. I have seen Rob grow and develop over the past 2 years working together. Rob is a strong leader who looks at the big picture, who can have honest and difficult conversations, and who is capable of connecting with the various audiences that we serve. Thank you all. I remain, as always, your friend, neighbor, and public servant. And we will move on to Agenda 3.2, and I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Midzik to run an election of the school board president.
Thank you, Kathy. The process of determining the president for the remainder of this year is now called to order. Is there a nomination for president?
I nominate Rob Kobleska to serve as school board president for the remainder of the school year.
Is there a second to the nomination of Rob Kobleska for president?
I second.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Nominations are now closed, and the board may proceed with the roll call vote.
Yes.
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 I'll abstain.
And I'm yes.
Rob Kobleska has been elected as the president of the Greendale Board of Education effective October 7th, 2024. And I turn the meeting over to Rob.
Thank you, everyone. I did type up a little something here. I wanted to thank the board for having trust in me and nominating me for president. This is a board that I have enjoyed working with over the past 6 months. We're a group that I believe will continue to work well together and for the foreseeable future. We function well as a team instead of individuals, which I believe helps support Dr. Mizik, her admin team, and the teachers and staff, which help put the focus on cultivating excellence in every student, which is what's most important. Kathy, your dedication to students and your passion for teaching is not lost on any of us. We will continue to look to you for your leadership and your experience. This board would not have functioned as well as it has without you, and I think I speak for everyone when I say thank you for everything that you've done for me and for us. We'll move into the future together as a team, not one of us more important than the other. All right, so I believe next we have a nomination for vice president.
I nominate Tasha Hughes to be vice president of the Greendale School Board for the remainder of the school year.
Is there a second to the nomination of vice president for the Greendale School Board of Education?
I second.
All right, we have a second. Nominations are closed. We will proceed with a roll call vote.
Yes.
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 And I'm yes.
All right. Congratulations, Tasha. Moving on to clerk.
You don't need to do a nomination because that seat has not been vacated.
Oh,
You
that's
only
right.
need to, the treasurer has been vacated.
Treasurer,
so
yep.
You need to take nominations.
Is there a nomination for treasurer?
I nominate Brian Bach.
Is there a second to the nomination of treasurer for the Greendale School Board of Education?
I second.
All right, we have a second. Nominations are closed, and we will proceed with a roll call vote.
I'll abstain.
Yes.
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 Motion carries.
Motion carries. All right. Assuming we're just rolling right into
Yep,
the
go
agenda.
right into
All right.
And now you need to go to communications as you reordered the agenda.
All right.
comments. Questions?
Sorry, there will be some bumps in the road here. So we are moving on to questions and comments for visitors. I see a number of people here, so I assume some will talk. So I will read you our little intro. Welcome to all those who will be speaking this evening. We would like to remind you that the school board meetings are for the purpose of carrying on the business of the district. They are official business meetings held in public. Though the school, through School Board Bylaw 0167.3, the board allows citizens to make comments by scheduling 2 opportunities on the agenda to receive citizen comments. In accordance with the intent of the Open Meetings Law, please be aware that although the Board of Education welcomes comments from the public, it cannot discuss or debate items brought up during public comments. In order to hear from all citizens who wish to speak and to ensure that the official business of the district is addressed, board policy sets a time limit for citizen comments. We will be adhering to that board bylaw and its time limits at tonight's meeting. Persons wishing to address the board are asked to come to the podium and state their name and address for the record. Comments are limited to 1 time. Individuals who will be speaking will be limited to 3 minutes. Citizen comments are limited to a period not to exceed 30 minutes. And with that, if anyone would like to come to the podium.
Good evening. My name is Alan Hafmeister, address 6105 Thornridge Lane, Greendale. I wanted to say that we have a very good school board here, and I think Kathy Vincent is a major reason why. Her knowledge and her leadership have been exemplary. I thank you very much. You've always had Greendale's students, parents, and residents as your first priority. And I admire you for that very much. Thank you for your service.
Anyone else like to speak?
Good evening, everyone. I'm speaking on behalf of myself and my wife, Anne-Marie Busalaki, and I'm hoping you might allow 1 or 2 extra minutes, but I'll be as brief as I can. I have prepared remarks, and I'll pass them around to everyone. Rich Busalaki, 7772 Tuckaway Shores Drive. Some of you may remember my wife and I, former Greendale residents, who moved to Greendale so our children could have the best education possible. Our children, Dean and Gabby, attended all 12 years of education at Greendale. Both are graduates of UW-Madison. Dean in his 4th year of teaching special education, and we're quite aware of disabilities and mental illness. And Gabby is has finished her master's degree and is on her way to becoming a dietitian. Our children are successful not because of us, but because of the education, foundation, and mentoring they received at Greendale. Dean was guided by many faculty, staff, community members that are still his mentors and friends to become a teacher. Gabby was mentored and endeared by faculty and staff who taught her to become an independent, empowered woman that she still is today. Many of you know that I was formerly on the Greendale Village Board, and we moved to Franklin from our first home that we purchased so our children could go to Greendale. Anna and I devoted many years to supporting the Greendale School District. When I served on the Greendale Village Board, I would always talk about the 3-legged stool: the school system, the quality of life, and Southridge Mall. The reason this village is alive is because of the school district. The school district is the heart and life of this village. Even after moving to Franklin, we continued and still call Greendale home. Many of you are aware that as a husband and a father, I made a bad decision by entering into an extramarital relationship which I have taken personal and public responsibility for. That will forever be my biggest mistake that is between my God, my wife, and my children. As a result of this relationship, many rumors and untruths have circulated blaming me for all sorts of things. Please believe whatever you want. The truth is in the middle. But I will tell you that there has been a campaign to disparage me personally to cover up the many things from that experience. There has also been a campaign by these same individuals and politicians from Franklin to attempt to use these alleged issues as a smear campaign to destroy me, my family, and my reputation as a result of exposing corruption in Franklin. And
All right.
here in,
I apologize. That was 3 minutes.
since I'm speaking for the both of us, may I?
Well, groups get 5 minutes.
No, board policy is 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
For individuals.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about that.
Do you want to pick up?
She can speak for 3 minutes, but
Okay.
unfortunately your time is done.
Right there? Please.
Okay.
You know what? Just, you can give us just a second. Go right here. Here. Start right there.
Okay, so as a result, a few of the Greendale residents have been working with exposed politicians to do everything they can to take down and silence him from exercising his First Amendment rights. An additional ethics complaint was filed on August 22nd, 2024, alleging the county supervisor Taylor and also executive director of Rock Foundation with the knowledge and support of the supervisor Kathleen Vincent. Also, president of the Greendale School Board sent their shared legislative aid to at least 5 Milwaukee County Circuit Court proceedings to take notes and provide information back to Taylor and Vincent. The same complaint was filed with Milwaukee County Fraud, Waste, and Abuse. The public proceedings included him of interest to Vincent and Taylor and another individual of interest to County Supervisor Taylor. These proceedings have nothing to do with Milwaukee County or Milwaukee County business, but one is tied to Greendale. This is an additional proof that Vincent and Taylor also used a position as county supervisors to access the Milwaukee County's DA's office to build a case against him. If that was not enough, there was also proof that Vincent, in the middle of sending her aide to take notes and intervening with DA's office, using her position as county supervisor in his case on August 12, 2024, Vincent also met with the very judge who was handling his case 2 days after a hearing and 10 days before a hearing related to Greendale. This issue has yet to be concluded. Surely Vincent knows what a conflict of interest is unless she is purposely, fully trying to interfere with legal process. There's also proof that Vincent was brazen enough to meet with this judge and posted on her Facebook page. Vincent posted, "Do a ride along to observe misdemeanor court today." Vincent took the judge to lunch the same day and brought up the case over lunch. The judge was smart enough to see what Vince was doing and told Vince she could not discuss the active case. There is a signed affidavit attesting to all of this, in addition to a statement from a local Greendale Village Board member. On September 24, 2024, Kevin Madison, publisher of Kenosha County Eye, published a story indicating from an undated letter to Kathleen Vincent's personal file, she was found to have committed serious misconduct, including theft of time, essentially conducting Greendale School Board and Milwaukee County Board's business on the dime of the Kenosha taxpayers and at the expense of students in her classes, double dipping. Vincent has shown that she is not about serving the residents or her students, that she is about serving herself.
All right.
And with that, that's end.
The rest of this is a formal complaint to the Greendale Village Board per your policy and your manual. I have copies. I'll leave them at the desk.
All right.
I would like this
Thank
forwarded
you.
on, please.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. President Kobleska, can I correct some misinformation per board policy?
Excuse me, I thought the announcement at the beginning that there was no debate on issues.
We have a
brought by the
board
public.
policy that states that we can correct misinformation, and
Right.
I would like to correct that misinformation at this time. Thank you. First of all,
Excuse me, am I
Okay.
able then to,
excuse me, you're
am I
not.
able then to correct?
No, why do we not do this? Why don't we not do this?
I would like to go on the record to state that there has never been a time that I have sent my legislative assistant into a courtroom.
I have an
Or-
affidavit. Would you like to see it,
All right.
Supervisor?
I'm not going to
All right.
argue with you.
I think we should stop this
All right.
conversation. It's not
Yeah.
productive.
All right. Rich, why don't you go sit down with your wife?
Thank you, sir.
So I will just state that there was much misinformation was
right.
just stated.
All right.
Thank
We're good.
Thank
We're
you.
good. All right. Would anyone else like to talk? Are there any other comments? All right. Moving on. We are moving on to approving the meeting minutes from September 16th and the regular meeting minutes of September 23rd, which was a closed session. Would somebody like to motion to approve the meeting minutes?
I move approval of the regular meeting minutes of September 16th, 2024, and closed session minutes of September 23rd, 2024, as presented in Agenda Item 1.1.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second. We will take a roll call to approve the meeting minutes.
Yes.
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 I'm yes. Yes. All right, motion passes. Moving on to new business, we are going to review information for the 2025 summer school. And I will turn that over to Maggie.
Thank you. So during the summer of 2024, we had a total of 896 students participate in and benefit from our summer school program. In grades K through 8, there were 492 students, and in 9-12, we had 404 who participated in at least one summer school offering. Classes were in person for our K-8 students, and at high school, classes were in person, hybrid, and fully virtual. Mark Pollux, Christopher Del Ponte administrated the day-to-day operations and supported the high school programs. Emily Doe and Michael Brock, the College Park principal, coordinated the K-8 summer school registration. And Jessica Bradley handled the day-to-day operations and teacher support for the K-8 summer school program at both Canterbury and the middle school. Some things to highlight is that we included some things that were really popular for the students, including art, books, and cooks, part of the cohort. Families were still able to choose the cohort, which was a huge success. And at the high school, we were able to have many students earn more credits and also participate in enrichment courses. Are there any questions from the board around summer school?
I don't have a question, but I just have a comment. I just want to say what a robust summer school program that we have here at Greendale and how fortunate we are. My older child here in Greendale was able to get a lot of her prerequisites out of the way for high school, and able to, which frees up electives now that she's here. And my youngest, my kindergartner, was took the Intro to 5K and was very proud of himself for already knowing how to do kindergarten when he started on the first day. So
Was ready to go, right?
Right. So I think that, and the variety of courses that we offer is huge. Obviously, offering cursive and art classes and music classes. So it's a really robust program. The transportation is also very key. So I think that Greendale's commitment to making sure students can get there is also huge. And I just want to say thank you because I know that summer school takes a lot of time. Oftentimes you have parents who can't get their kid in a certain section, and I know that you move heaven and earth to make sure that that happens, that they can get in there. So thank you for all the hard work that you put into making sure that summer school is successful for Greendale students.
And I also forgot we had an improv class as well this year. That was a big hit. So,
Well, and I like the fact that the high school gym is a blend of in-person and at-home learning, and the economics class is virtual, which is really nice for students who are doing camping trips, family travels, other such things, working.
and those are both needed for graduation credits. So it's a wonderful way for kids to be able to do that and have more time for electives during the school year. Yeah.
In addition to being beneficial for students, there is a financial impact, and it is a net positive financial impact with our total revenues being outpacing our total expenses and being able to offset some of the costs during the school year as well.
I had a question about the Alex math. I see the enrollment is declining over the years. Is that something that is required of students to take, or is that an
It is not a required class for students to take. It is a it is to help kids receive credit for math if they have struggled in other math classes. So having a reduction of students taking that class is a success.
Okay, good. That is good. That's what I was hoping. And then I don't know if we can ask our student board members if it's okay, but the summer Phi-Ed seems to be very popular amongst our students. I don't know if you want to speak to that, but the enrollment is very, very high in that area.
I have not ever taken the summer gym class. I have taken economics, though, which was great. For example, when I was doing that, I was actually in Europe for part of that, so I was still able to earn my high school credit while abroad, and it opened up chances for me to take like music classes or language classes. So echoing what Mrs. Settle said over there, it's definitely useful in that way. Then I'll pass it to Noah.
Yeah, I actually have taken both the high school Phi-Ed classes as well as the economics class, and it's helped me be able to take more advanced placement classes as well as outside classes within like WVS, and having the ability to take these prerequisite classes, just things that you need to graduate during the summer instead of the school year, is a big help for expanding your knowledge during the school year.
Thank you.
Did we still offer the CNA class over the summer, or was that considered part of the Summer Trades Institute?
We did still offer the class for CNA. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but we did offer it. And I'll be going over that at the dual enrollment board report, and you'll see those numbers.
All right. No more questions, comments? All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. Moving on, we will be hearing a report on the EL curriculum by Ms. Burnett. So I'll turn it over to you.
All right. All right, so we are here to talk a little bit more about the additional supports that are needed to support our newcomers. So newcomers, defined by DPI, are students that recently arrived, English learners who have been enrolled in U.S. schools for less than 12 cumulative months. And in Greendale, one of our main focuses is that we want to meet the needs of all learners. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we need to do to support our newcomers. So the legal requirements for students that are multilanguage learners, the federal law requires that we help students to attain English language proficiency and meet state academic standards. And then the state law requires that we identify, assess, provide services, and monitor our multilanguage learners. So when we look at students that are newcomers, we've had an increase of newcomers over the last 4 years. So currently at College Park, we have 4 students that are considered newcomers. Highland View has 3, Greendale Middle School has 3, and Greendale High School has 6. So when we look at that bottom chart, that talks about all of the students that are considered multilanguage learners in our school district. So that's 138 students. When we think about students that are enrolled, so 138 out of 2,543 Greendale students are considered multilanguage learners. With that, 5.4% of our population then meets that requirement. And then newcomers make up 12% of our English language learners or multilanguage learners. So when we think about that, we have students that one day are in their home country and then 3 days later are sitting in our classrooms. And that's a huge, huge change for students. As you can imagine, students are feeling all different emotions, and some of our students are not able to understand the directions that are being given to them. So that being said, our EL team has worked very hard this year to really determine how to best meet the needs of our students. The 2 programs that they have looked at are programs that will help to meet those students at the high school level. They will meet in what's called their sheltered instructional time to work on Language Live. I'm sorry, Language Tree. Language Live is a different program. So this program builds English proficiency along with literacy and content area knowledge. It's provided online, but then there is also teacher-led instruction, and it's taught again during that sheltered English language time. So that's when they're receiving that support. When we look at Imagine Learning, that's for our elementary students, and that's given 3 to 5 days per week during independent reading and or Spanish. Those students are still meeting with the EL teacher during their instructional time. So they're receiving both types of support, and students are assessed and a learning pathway is created. The thing about Imagine Learning is that it supports 15 different languages, so students can be given their directions in their home language and then are asked to do the skill into English. When we think about all of the different learners that we have students that are speaking Mandarin, Turkish, Arabic, Spanish, Urdu, Vietnamese, Serbian, Karen, Polish, and Burmese. So we have many languages that are coming to Greendale, and these two programs really help to support our students so that we can close the gap and they can improve their English proficiency. Are there any questions?
So this report is for information for the board. There are some new interventions essentially to support English language instruction, and we wanted you to be aware of the increased need and the additional resources. It is being addressed within budget.
Did have one question. In terms of the services that we do provide then, are there EL teachers going into the classrooms with our students, and is it more of a push in than pull out setting?
It really just depends on the individual student, but yes, we have teachers, our EL teachers that are going into the classroom, and then we also have, in some cases, students going into what we would call that sheltered setting, receiving services. So it's a combination of both throughout all of our levels.
Yeah, and our goal is to make sure that all of our students have access to universal instruction, especially English, language arts. So not only are they getting the curriculum that Denise is speaking with, that language tree or Imagine Language and Literacy, they'll be also receiving ELA curriculum, CKLA or Common Lit throughout their year, because they need a double dose to be able to catch up to English proficiency.
And both programs are standards aligned, and Imagine Learning is based on the science of reading. So that really supports what we're doing with CKLA at the elementary level.
Thank you. That was going to be my next question. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else have any questions? Do you guys pair up any of the younger children with, say, older children that are more fluent, that can kind of ease the transition?
That's a good idea, but no.
I don't think we do that, no.
That is a great idea.
That's why I'm president.
Well, I appreciate that thought. So that's something we can certainly talk about, but we have not done that as of yet.
That's a good idea.
It's a great idea. And also, we do have students who, when we do know there are kids who come in from who are speaking the same language, there is connections made between our EL students. If someone is a newcomer and someone's been here for a couple of years and they have the similar home language, that we do pair them up to have those conversations, especially at elementary school, that is common. But that is a great idea, so thank you.
If I could add, one of the things I think living here in Greendale, a lot of residents don't understand the number of languages that are spoken in the district. Is that something you could briefly touch on right now?
So, yes, so we have families that are speaking Mandarin, Turkish, Arabic, Spanish, Urdu, Vietnamese, Serbian, Karen, Polish, and Burmese. So we have many, many languages that are spoken, and fortunately we have, just based on my knowledge of early childhood, as we've been doing evaluations, families are excited to be in this community, and they are making connections with other families to to help support them.
Yeah, our number one home language is English, then Arabic, then Spanish, then I think Urdu, and then Serbian.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. Moving on, we need to discuss the board calendar.
There is 3 weeks between now and the next meeting, and we have the Fun Run Walk, as I mentioned at the beginning. There is a football game this Friday evening, and there are a number of concerts coming up in the month of October at which board members may be present. And I think that is all I see on the upcoming. Oh, there's a student activity night at the middle school on October 22nd. So there may be board members volunteering and participating in some of those group activities.
All right. And does anyone have anything to add, committee-wise or anything?
I did. I just wanted to add that our Wisconsin Association of School Boards is having their fall regional meeting. Some of us are going to be attending that on October 30th. So if you haven't let Christy know yet, please do let her know that you're planning on attending, and there may be the entire board there.
Thank you.
All right. And also the Park and Rec Committee was canceled this month. So I'll have updates at the next meeting via email just from Ryan, and we'll go over all that.
When does Policy Committee meet again?
It will. It is not meeting in October. It will meet after the next update comes out from Neola, so it'll be after the first of the year.
Okay. And our members for the Policy Committee are?
Tasha and I.
Tasha and you, okay.
Yep. All right. That brings us back to our additional comments from visitors. Second chance for anyone that would like to speak.
Courtney Cruikshank-Baranowski, 6499 Radburn Lane. I'm here as a citizen, and I want to express my deep concern regarding the recent and not so recent actions taken into what appears to be deliberate attempts to weaponize personal matters, specifically the mental health of a board member, for personal gain. Look, regardless of who you may or may not have wanted to serve on the school board, despite wrongs that took place, it is absolutely repulsive to leverage someone's mental health struggles as a tactic to undermine them. Mental health is a deeply personal issue, and using it as a tool for anyone's advantage not only perpetrates harmful stigma, but also undermines the values of integrity and respect that should guide our education system. It is particularly troubling that such a person would display these actions openly in a community that has historically fostered a healthy, supportive environment for all individuals, especially the young minds we are tasked with shaping. Differences should never justify the exploitation of someone's personal challenges. I hope this community understands the seriousness of these statements and thinks twice before moving forward with individuals that continue to perpetrate this narrative. It is very clear within our community who are leaders and who are has-beens.
I wasn't going to speak, so I didn't really prepare anything, but since you allowed Kathy that long political speech that she was able to give, spoken by a true politician, I thought I would speak. And I do agree it's right not to use anybody's mental illness against them or to use it to their advantage. So let me say what I do know. When someone does an open records request and there's 3 complaints on an employee that does time theft, and that time theft is being used for 2 other positions, that is wrong. That's an ethical violation. And what I do know is Kathy, when she was running for school board the last time, and I told her that I was going to support her opponent because I felt that 3 jobs was too much for anyone. And I felt she was doing a great job as county supervisor. I wanted her to focus on that, and of course her school teaching job for the students. and that the school board, the Greendale School Board, would be the bottom of the totem pole. Well, I think I've been proven right that 3 jobs is too much, that you have to use your students' time in order to complete those other 2 jobs. And what Kathy did in retaliation of me saying that I was not supporting her as she was running for school board is when I sent out an email to 6 of my close friends saying that I was supporting her opponent, she went to our village manager and our village president umpteen times to insist that I get an ethics violation for doing that. When they kept telling her this was not an ethics violation, we cannot reprimand Colleen, she didn't do anything wrong, she insisted and insisted, and it took up a ton of their time trying to make sure I got an ethics violation, which obviously I never did because I did nothing wrong. So this is a character situation. This is about honesty, and it's about character.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak?
Hi, Heather Miller, 5231 Morningside. I also didn't plan to speak. In fact, we're headed to swim next. But hearing the discussion about the newcomers and the English language learners sparked, and the discussion about mentorship. My 2 daughters that were here this evening, one of them spoke, Addie, have a friend who just recently moved to the country. I believe the week before school started is what they were told. And Addie has kind of paired herself with this friend and really enjoyed kind of being a mentor, not just in the classroom, but at recess. And it's, I'm sure, helped that friend. The teacher reached out recently to tell us how well it was going and how helpful she was being. But it's really, I've seen the benefits to her of teaching her empathy and culture and some of the other things. And so I wanted to maybe say that that's happening in the schools informally through the peers providing that support. But I think it would also be a great option to have something more formal, because I think she's really enjoyed having a role like that, and I'm sure there's many other students that would enjoy that also. So, thank you.
All right. Thank you for that. Would anyone else like to speak? All right. Well, that will conclude tonight's meeting. We will adjourn and reconvene on Monday, October 28th, in the same room at 7 p.m. Thank you for coming.